Hello there, and welcome to the confessional. Today's OP learns that whatever goes around comes around, no matter how early or late in life. Everyone receives the same energy they expend, whether to loved ones or adversaries. OP offered to let her mother live with her under the same terms and conditions she lived under as a teen. I don't know why in God's good name, my mom thought I would be the one to come to. We don't get along at all. I went to live with Dad at 16 because she told me she hated me and kicked me out. My older brother, the golden child, I know for a fact, has a spare bedroom she could sleep in now that she's losing her house. My mom's situation is also entirely her fault, which makes this all the more annoying. She and my stepdad bought a 7-bedroom house 10 years ago, right after she left her job of 20 years to work at some stupid startup that was out of business only 3 years later. My stepdad spent the last years of his miserable life bedbound because he ignored every doctor telling him to stop shoving his face full of food at every waking moment of the day. So, he died 500 pounds and was in misery. I was more than fine with this, by the way. Well, when he died early this year, it pretty much drained the last of the money my M-word of a mother had remaining, and now the banks are taking the house back. So, she shows up at my door for some reason, after mistreating me since I was a kid and ignoring me unless she wanted something since she married that thankfully dead land whale. She had the nerve to ask to live with me. It's only my husband and me in our 2-bedroom house, sure, but that spare bedroom is his office, my art studio in the basements, and the couch in front of the fireplace is for our lovely cats. There is no room for the wicked hag anywhere in this house. But I knew this opportunity would never come again. So I told her she could live with us if, and only if she decided to follow the house rules. 1. All electronics were to be turned off by 6 p.m. If she was caught with any after that, they would be taken away and sold at the next yard sale. 2. Bedtime was 7:30 p.m., and if I caught her up, I would take away all of her clothing for the week. 3. She may only shower for 5 minutes and once every 3 days. 4. All chores must be done the moment she wakes up. If I roll out of bed and they are not, she will not be getting meals for the day. 5. She must ensure she is alert at all times. If hubby and I need something done, it is to be done at that moment, or else she will lose her bedding privileges for the night. 6. She will be responsible for cooking one meal I choose daily. If it is not made to my liking, she will not be allowed to join us and instead will eat the cheapest frozen meal available. 7. I will read all her texts and emails and give her the ones I deem acceptable communication under my roof. 8. Her car will be my own personal travel car. She will also drive me wherever I want, and she will still have to pay for gas. And last but not least, if she displeases me at any point, I will call my brother to pick her up from a nearby gas station. I will get to choose what she takes to put in a torn-up backpack before dropping her off without looking back. Given her these house rules, she called me a monster, told me these conditions were inhuman, and asked if I was insane. These were the exact conditions I lived under for years as a teenager. The exact conditions she tormented me with for years until she finally let me go and live with the one parent that loved me. And these would be the conditions she would suffer under if she dared to ask me to home her worthless joy-sucking soul. I don't know where she went after she stormed out of my house. My brother called me and told me I had the biggest balls in the family for the stunt I pulled. From the sounds of it though, none of the spawns want the brood mother to live with them. I hope she finds a nice park bench to stay on. Let us see how the community responds. Jessie for Life reacted, LMAO. I am sorry I laughed at these conditions. I am so sorry you had to suffer through that as a teenager, but that must have felt absolutely incredible and empowering to be able to shove those inhuman conditions back down her throat. It sounds like she thought she didn't have a daughter, but rather an S-word. I hope she rots while you and your husband and cats enjoy a lovely relaxing evening knowing that you will never be subjected to those conditions again. DLS 3141 asked, did she recognize those terms, or did you have to remind her where they came from? OP responded to DLS 3141, I'm sure she did. She reveals in the fact she can remember petty arguments and mistakes from 30 years ago. She would never admit to it though, because that would prove that she was always a shitty mother and person. Her for the bagels added to OP's answer. Parents like this always acknowledge what they did but then follow up with some bullshit. I did it because I care and you're too selfish to see how much I love you. Gaslighting at its core. Thank you for your time. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It reassures us that we are on the right track.